Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Gabby and today we're going to talk about the most hyped up fragrances in 2023. Obviously this year we had so many new releases, but there were certain fragrances that got extremely hyped up here on YouTube, on Instagram as well. You're gonna see them everywhere on TikTok. I don't have all of these fragrances because there are some that I personally don't like. So in this video, we're not gonna have necessarily just new releases because there are some older fragrances that just suddenly got very popular here on YouTube. And I'm gonna let you know exactly what I think about them because this year, at least me, okay, like when I was opening YouTube especially, I could only see these fragrances. Everyone was talking about these fragrances and I might be guilty of that. Like you're gonna see here some fragrances that I absolutely love and I feature them in a billion videos, and I'm gonna let you know which ones I think that are worth the hype. Like yes, the hype was real for those fragrances, and the ones that maybe we gave them way too much attention. Let's just put it out there like that, okay? So before we start, if you like this video, don't forget to give the big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and now let's jump in. I will start with two fragrances that I actually don't have in my collection. The first one is Blanche Bête from Liquid Imaginaire or something like that. I had that fragrance, okay? Everyone was talking about it. Everyone said that it's a milky fragrance. I got it. Wasn't the biggest fan at first, and then I kept like testing it and I started to like it, but for the price it was not the milky fragrance that I was expecting. Like no, like if you want a good milk, literally like a milk fragrance, try Le Concentré from Chabot. Amazing, literally like concentrated milk. This is what you're getting. It's affordable, it's gorgeous, it's gourmand. But Blanche Bête, it was very musky on my skin. It had this like jasmine tuberose note as well. It was not gourmand enough. It was okay. Like I said, the first time when I tested it, I was like, not sure. But then I've tested more. I started to like, but it was just not as gourmand as people were saying it's gonna be. So I ended up decluttering the fragrance. Obviously I bought it from overseas, so I had to pay like taxes, shipping, all of that. So I lost quite a lot of money, but at least it's not sitting on a shelf. So that one was extremely hyped up, but for me it was not deserved. Like that much hype was not necessarily deserved. The next one that I don't have, it's Guidance from Amouage. Now, with this fragrance, I actually only had a sample, and I feel like in a way it was deserved because that fragrance, let me just say it, it's not for me. I've tried to like it. It's something about it that I really like, but in the same time it has something that I really don't like. It's, I know, too smoky, too polarizing, I can't believe I'm saying that it's too polarizing, but yes, that one was just too much for me. I feel like it's worth in terms of the packaging. It's a beautiful bottle. In terms of uniqueness, it's a very unique fragrance. It's gonna remind you slightly of other fragrances, but I've never smelled anything exactly like that. Lasting power and projection, it was beast. It was a beast mode. So I would say it is worth the hype, but I feel like you need to test it first. I feel like some people maybe just said that it's absolutely amazing and you need it, and it might be amazing for them, but I feel like so many others just couldn't do that fragrance. Like I've tried just the smallest spray, it was just too much for me. So I feel like it's worth it, but you need to try a sample first. So if you like it, I feel like it's worth the hype, it's worth having it, especially because, like I said, it was very powerful. It was a beast, at least on me, it was a beast fragrance. The next one, okay, let's talk about this one. Cherry Smoke from Tom Ford. When Tom Ford released Cherry Smoke and then Electric Cherry, everyone lost their minds, including myself. I've tested Electric Cherry and I was amazed by the opening, and then the dry down was just a meh, no. Cherry Smoke, I do really like it. But in a way I kind of regret talking about it that much because even though I really like the scent profile. By the way, I'm not going to review these fragrances because I already done a review for all of them. If you want to see the full review, just type my name and then the name of the fragrance, and you're going to find my review for them. I really like the scent profile. It is stronger than Lost Cherry, but generally every fragrance should be stronger than Lost Cherry. Like Lost Cherry, it's a joke, but it's still not that powerful. Like, it's not that powerful. For the price, I think this one was £290 or 60. I cannot remember. But it was over 200, almost £300 for a 50 ml. It smells very good. I do have lots of cherry fragrances. I definitely have others that I prefer over this one. Again, I might be, I don't know, like, it was my fault as well because I not necessarily hyped this fragrance, but I talked about it like probably like twice, 3 times. But yeah, it's a great fragrance, but I feel like people should not go and run buying this fragrance, which literally everyone on YouTube did. Like, when this one was released, everyone just blind bought it. I had the chance to test it before and I knew I'm gonna like it. But for example, with Electric Cherry, if I would just like see that people are talking about it and blind buy that fragrance, I would be extremely disappointed because that one was just a letdown. That one was no. So yeah, Cherry Smoke, I don't really think it is like it's worth the hype. I'm gonna be honest, it might be my fault as well because I talked about it like too much, but I don't think it's worth the hype just because the lasting power and the projection, that's still not that great as it should be for this price point. Okay, the next one, let's talk about Bonbon Pop from the House of Food. I was one of the first ones to review this fragrance, and I know that everyone started to love it and to review it. And for me, this one is amazing. It worked, like, yeah, it's delicious. It's, yeah, worth the hype 100%. This is delicious, like brown sugar with peach. It's amazing. Absolutely love it. It does last on the skin. It does project. It gets you compliments. It's an expensive fragrance, but the bottle is gorgeous. The juice is gorgeous. It's a phenomenal fragrance. Like this one, yeah. This one, in my opinion, it's worth the hype 100%. It's one of my favorite releases for 2023. And yeah, it's worth the hype. This is what I'm saying. It's worth the hype. If you don't agree with me, let me know in the comments down below. But for me, this fragrance is absolutely amazing and it actually should deserve even more hype, okay? Next, we have Kayali Yum Pistachio Gelato. Basically, everything that Kayali releases, it's super hyped up. But this one in particular, because you know what happened with the marketing, like, for this fragrance, how, like, people kind of knew that it's gonna be released, but it was not out yet, and the whole strategy, the whole marketing thingy. It was genius, by the way. I do like the scent, but when you see pistachio gelato, like if you ever had pistachio gelato, it has a trace of pistachio gelato, but it's quite floral. And I feel like people, and a bit soapy in the same time. So I feel like people, when they got their bottles, they were like, ah. And again, I feel like quite a few people on YouTube didn't actually mention that it's not necessarily a full-on gourmand. It's quite floral as well. It's a beautiful fragrance, don't get me wrong. I feel like for the summertime, it's a beautiful fragrance. I don't know how much is the full bottle. Now, I only got myself the 10 ml because all of my Kayali fragrances are in a 10 ml bottle. £25 for this, I'm fine with it. Probably I will not purchase the bigger bottle. I feel it's worth the hype to try it, but don't expect to be overly gourmand. So this one is a maybe. I would classify this one as a maybe. So yeah, Yum Pistachio Gelato from Kayali. It's a good fragrance, but I feel like people were making it sound like it's this unbelievable delicious fragrance, which in my opinion is not, which is nothing wrong with that, but it's not just as gourmand as people were saying that it's gonna be. Next, what else we have in here? Valaya from Parfumarli. Now, again, I blind buy this perfume. It was a blind buy for me. See, I do really like it, but We do have Flor Narcotique from Ex Nihilo, which I love and adore. This one is a fresher version of that. It's a beautiful, beautiful scent. Easy overpriced. I mean, Flor Narcotique it's expensive as well. That one's like 165 for 50 ml, and this one is 210 for 75. So that kind of the same price range if you think about it. I'm not sure. Again, it's a maybe. It's a maybe because it's a beautiful scent, but we've seen this DNA before. Like Flor Narcotique from Ex Nihilo was here first. That one is definitely sweeter though. This one is fresher, it's more airy, it's not as sweet. It's a maybe. It's a maybe. Maybe like if I knew how this one smells, I would not run and buy it immediately because it was a blind buy. But yeah, I do like it though. I do like it though, so this one is gonna be a maybe as well, alright? What else do we have in here? Right. My unpopular opinion, Vibrato from Sospiro. I freaking love this thing. I've told you guys, and I feel like everyone that's reviewing this one is saying that it's unisex leaning masculine. Now, it's a freshie, it's over 250 pounds. It's an expensive fragrance. But for me, this is one of the best freshies that I've smelled in my life. Okay? I'm not a freshy person, but this one just does something. When you're wearing this fragrance, it just does something. It's a bit powdery in the dry down, but it's super fresh in the same time. It's like juicy grapefruit. I don't know how to explain it, but it just works. And it's extremely, extremely strong. Now, for people that are saying that this one is not strong, you're not spraying correctly. I know what's wrong with you, but this is strong. Like, a fresh fragrance normally lasts 2 hours, 3 hours max. Like, you can overspray, it doesn't last. This one, if you're wearing in the cold, it might not last that long, all right? But if you wear it in the heat or just like normal temperatures, this one lasts. Like, everyone is able to smell it. And I know that because me and my partner, we are both wearing this fragrance, especially during the summer. And when he's wearing it, like, I know exactly that he's wearing Vibrato. It's a DNA that is like very recognizable, but also I can smell him the whole day. So, and he's not an overspray. Like, he does like 4, maybe 5, and that's it. He doesn't reapply the fragrance, and I can smell him like after many, many hours. So this for me, even though it's an expensive fragrance, again, it's worth the hype because it has the quality. It has the quality. And if you're looking for a sweet freshie, might not be for you because it has a sweetness, but it's, again, it's unisex, leaning slightly masculine. But for me, Vibrato, it's one of the best freshies that I've smelled and that I have in my collection. The other ones, I have maybe 2 others that actually were released this year. Kajal 3, I really, really, really like that one. And actually Kajal Masa, I really like that one as well, but that one is a bit too masculine for me. But yeah, Vibrato, 10 out of 10, for me it's worth the hype. But people that are saying it's not, that's your opinion. For me, that fragrance is an absolute masterpiece. It's it's changing the game for the freshies, okay? Next one. Navitus Ambrosia Imperial. I know that all of you are going to be like, oh, it's Navitus. Obviously, you're going to say good things about it. Have you seen the amount of reviews this fragrance has on Fragrantica, on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok? And it's not a cheap fragrance. And people that don't have like hundreds of subscribers were reviewing this one. Because it has a note that we didn't get before in fragrances. It has banana, and you can definitely smell the banana. It's not overly gourmand, it still has a perfumey aspect, but it's such a gorgeous, like, sophisticated gourmand that it's airy in the same time, but it lasts and it projects on the skin. For me, this one is 100% like worth the hype. It has a note that you don't see that often, almost you don't see it at all. It's a note that I feel like lots of people wanted to see in fragrances, and they did an incredible job with this fragrance. So yeah, all I can say, in my opinion, it's worth the hype. I know it's expensive, I know that, but this is 125 ml. They had like the promo code for the launch, so if you bought it with the promo code, especially like with the promo code, it was 100% worth this fragrance because it's amazing. It's amazing, and I just love what they did with that banana note. Okay. Moving on, because we talked about banana. A fragrance that is not necessarily new, but it got quite a lot of hype this year, is Bon Talente. If you remember, my first bottle from Bon Talente was actually like the old design. They changed the design. I much more prefer this bottle, and the juice is exactly the same. The price is the same. I really like this one. This is super sweet, like cookie caramel with lots of fruits. It's very milky. It's very dense. And again, it has quite a banana note in the opening. It is not fruity as in like erba pura type of fruitiness. No, it's like those fruits are mixed in, are blended into that caramel cookie. It's good. For the price, again, this thing, it's less than £100 for 100 ml. It's delicious. You need to like super sweet gourmands. For me, it's 100% worth the hype, the price tag, everything. For 100 like pounds, less than £100, you're getting a beautiful bottle, you're getting a very good juice, and it's a very good price, so you really can't go wrong. Like, honestly, designers nowadays, just standard design, not private blend, nothing like that over £120, which in my opinion is not necessarily worth it. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. But for a niche house, to create something this delicious for the summertime and with that price point, 100% worth the hype, at least in my opinion. Okay. Another one that I absolutely love, I know that some people don't, but personally absolutely love, is Gossip Night from Gritty. It was a blind buy for me. All right, I didn't have the chance at Exans to go to Gritty to smell what they have, and Greta was talking about this fragrance and she was telling me how amazing it is, so it was a blind buy for me. And I love it. I freaking love it. Again, I feel like if you like Bon Talente, you're gonna adore this one. It's not like they smell the same by any means, but they have a similar vibe. Like super sweet, quite creamy, delicious fruity fragrance. This is what I'm getting. For me, it's worth the hype. Again, I paid for it. I feel like it's a beautiful fragrance. That's it. It's worth the hype. It actually, that one was not as hyped up as many other fragrances on this list, but I feel like the hype that I got, well deserved. Now, Sugar Leather from Uino Nomad. I feel like because this one was released during the summertime, people are like, do you actually like it? It's amazing. It's amazing. It's definitely not a summer fragrance, but the fall and winter, it's amazing. It's not just leather. Like some people are like, oh, how can so many people love that fragrance, especially when it has leather? The leather, guys, the leather is barely there, and it's a strong fragrance. And the sillage, like, I'm getting so many compliments with this fragrance. It has like this like sugar cinnamon. It's such a beautiful fragrance. Again, worth the hype 100%, especially the price is good. Magnetic cap, the presentation is beautiful, the juice is good, it does last, it does project, 100% worth the hype in my opinion. The next one, that it was so hyped up that finally I had to have it. I just had to. Camera from Latafa. I never thought I'm gonna actually purchase this fragrance. I know that some people out there that absolutely hate it. I love it. I feel like it's it's supposed to be a dupe for Angel Share. For me, it's not. For me, it's actually way better than Angel Share. Those dates are just delicious for me. Like, I've seen people saying that, oh, it's a disgusting fragrance. I don't understand what you are getting with this, because for me, it's delicious. It's definitely not disgusting. Obviously, all of us, we have different noses, but I do not understand, like, how can this one be disgusting? I don't get it. For me, it's delicious. For like 36 pounds that I paid for 100 ml, I don't love the bottle, but I really don't like the bottle. It's just like a very obvious dupe, and it really pisses me off. Like, if this would came just like in a plain bottle, I would be super happy, but it is not. But the juice inside, for 30 something pounds I paid, I'm more than happy. Honestly, I'm more than happy, and I feel like this one deserves even more hype. Like, everyone should have this thing in their collection, and if you blind buy it and you don't like it, You lost 35 pounds. It's not the end of the world. Like, you are gonna survive, you know? Especially like if you're here on YouTube and you watch about like perfumes and things like that, probably you're really, really into fragrances. So 35 pounds should be alright, but I love it. I personally love it. And the last two that we're having here, let's just say that this year, everyone was talking about vanilla, and more exactly, 2 vanilla perfumes. The first one, Escape Gourmand from Maison Mataha, which again, it is not a new fragrance. It was not released this year, but everyone was talking about it. It was sold out everywhere, even us, because we carry this on the website. I think it's still sold out right now. Like, they didn't have enough. Like, everyone started talking about it, and everyone went and bought this fragrance, and it's gorgeous. I bought this one ages ago. It's a beautiful fragrance. I'm gonna keep saying, like, on my first review, I said, some people are saying that like the bottle is cheap. I said the same thing in my first video. I don't think this bottle is cheap by any means. I actually feel like it's a very, very, very nice bottle. Like, very heavy. The scent, it's like that like brown sugar vanilla, super sweet, caramelized brown sugar vanilla. This is what I'm getting. It's delicious. It's a vanilla fragrance. If this is what you're looking for, Escape Gourmand is 100% for you. And the next one is Bianco Latte from Giardini di Toscana. Bianco Latte, again, is still very, very hyped up. It's not a new fragrance, but it's a delicious vanilla, different than Escape Gourmand. So I feel like if you have one Escape Gourmand, you can still get this one, and the other way around. This one is creamier, it's fluffy, I think it's a bit musky as well. Both of them are just beautiful. It's a bit powdery almost. Both of them are just like gorgeous vanilla scents, especially Bianco Latte for the price. Guys, this is 110 pounds for 100 ml. Again, it's almost the same price, even cheaper than designers. You cannot compare any vanilla, like designer vanilla, to this, in my opinion. Like, you cannot. You just cannot, okay? Like, Italians, French, they know how to do fragrances. They really do. Especially the niche companies. But yeah, you cannot compare this to like any designer, vanilla designer I'm talking about. They're nice, but this one is definitely better. And again, the prices are the same. So that was it for today. I think that was it. Yeah. These were all of the fragrances that at least I saw everywhere in 2023, here on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, absolutely everywhere. Let me know in the comments down below what fragrances you've seen in 2023, what fragrances you think were like extremely hyped up. And yeah, that was it for today. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to give the big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and like always, I'm gonna see you guys in my next one. Bye bye.